All right, welcome to this session today with the 5-pillar method. Today we are diving into some hips and some neck release. So we'll take a few seconds, get a comfy spot, lying on your back. Taking your attention to your breathing, finding a nice relaxing rhythm with your breath. Finding that pace that allows your body to settle down. And since we are focused on the hips today, we'll take a little extra attention in relaxing through those hips as we breathe. So as you let go of that air, just quickly scanning through those quads, through those hamstrings, through those glutes and hip flexors. As you let go of that air, just feel that tension in those tissues float away as you exhale. And if we can, directing that air around the diaphragm, feeling that belly expand, and slowly exhaling through the nose. Allowing yourself to find a nice, relaxed, happy place mentally. Letting go of any stress we're carrying. And just enjoying the moment. And let's take one more long, slow, relaxing breath here. We'll sigh out that breath. And we'll start with our focus on the glute. Let's take that left side. We'll take a lacrosse ball under the left glute facing up and start by searching through that glute. When we say glute, it's kind of in quotes. There's a lot of muscles in there. There's a piriformis, there's glute med, there's the actual glute max, and a few others. So don't worry about your anatomy if you're not an anatomy person. Just scan through the area and look for where you're carrying tension. There's an area you know you carry tension, the upper part of that glute. Wherever it is, let that be your focus, and then settle into the right angle and the right amount of pressure based on how it's feeling. Should be minimal pain, just looking for pressure release. Sometimes it's helpful to get some movement around that hip. Bringing that knee in towards the chest. If you struggle near the bottom of a squat, getting into that position of restriction while releasing can help direct you with what needs attention. And we'll take one more slow, deep, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll take our attention on the opposite side. So moving into the right glute. Because the hips are prone to rotation and imbalances, this side might feel very different. It might feel the same. Really depends on your own anatomy, your activity history, your injury history. So just be aware of how it's feeling and what needs attention for today. And once you've found that area of tension, settle back to your breathing, doing your best to maintain a nice, calm, relaxed state, and taking your attention back to your breath. And it's really helpful sometimes to sync your breathing to the target tissue. So imagine as you exhale that air, that you're exhaling tension in that target tissue. Just keeping your attention on your breath, finding a rhythm with your breath that allows you to get nice and relaxed and to benefit from this release. Let's take one more long, slow, deep breath in here. We'll slowly exhale that out. And we'll shift our attention into the low back we're going to take a look at the QL. On the left side, so that's your quadratus lumborum. So if you find the meaty muscles in your low back, the QL just sits along the outside of that. And again, if you're not an anatomy person, don't worry about being on the exact muscle, just focus on the area and also the position. Releasing this area can tend to free up positions, again, like a squat. So if you pull that knee in towards the chest, helps to feel out how that muscle is impacting that position. And once you've found that right angle, that right area of tension, let's take your attention back to your breathing. Breathing through the nose if we can, to simulate that parasympathetic system, to find that nice relaxed state. Let that heart rate slow down, to let your body focus on recovering. And if we can, directing that air deep in those lower ribs and into the abdomen. Let's take one more long, slow, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath, and let's shift into the opposite side. So we'll look for the QL on the opposite side. And again, this runs from your ribs down to the pelvis. So anywhere along that line is fair game. This can be a sensitive area, so just take note of what that stimulus is doing. If it hurts at all, just back up a little on that pressure. Find the right amount of tension that allows that tissue to settle down. We don't want so much tension that the tissues around it start to tighten up. That's sort of undoing our work. So do some experimenting. Find the right amount of tension that your body needs today. If this tissue is used to some pressure, we can go a little more aggressively. Just find that right stimulus, that right amount of pressure that frees up your movement. And every chance we get, settling back to your breathing, relaxing, sending nice chill vibes through those hips. And all of that starts between the ears. So doing your best to maintain a nice calm state mentally, to allow that body to settle down. We'll take one more breath here. Slowly sigh out that breath. We can set that lacrosse ball off to the side. We're going to focus in on the neck muscles. So we're going to work the left side of the outer neck. There's a few muscle areas we can hit here, the scalenes, the sternocleidomastoid. Don't worry so much about what we're hitting exactly. Just go light with the fingertips. This can be a sensitive area again. But this is a stress muscle area, so it can carry some tension. So just feel it out. Using those fingertips or your thumb, just work your way through the neck with nice light pressure to start. Look for tissues that might feel different, might feel restricted. And when we can, settle back to your breathing. So because we are active here with the hands, it can be tough to let those muscles settle down. So just mentally doing everything you can to maintain that nice state of calm to help get the most benefit from this release. Keeping your attention on your breath every chance we get. And if we can, breathing through the nose. Imagine directing that air into the belly like you're filling a balloon. And we'll slowly take one more breath here, long, slow inhale. We'll sigh out that breath and take our attention to the opposite side. So working through the right side, that lateral side of the neck, hitting some scalenes or some sternocleidomastoid. And again, if anatomy is not your jam, don't worry about it. Just think about hitting that area and focusing on how it's feeling. And again, if it's a new area, especially if you haven't seen an RMT to help you out with this area, go real easy. ease your way in, and just pay attention to how that pressure in the neck is affecting your body. So nice, easy, gentle, relaxing strokes. If any of this hurts, we're going too hard. Just let pain and stimulus be your guide. Doing your best to maintain that nice, relaxed state mentally. Mentally go into your happy place. Just enjoying the moment, staying present, and using a nice calming breath. Let's take one more long, slow inhale here. And we'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll get into some neck circles. So if this is a new exercise, go relatively easy, starting by taking that chin to your chest, slowly dragging your chin out to your shoulder, tilting out to the side, letting it move with that chin up to the sky, moving to the opposite shoulder, slowly dragging that chin along your chest back to neutral, and working back in the other direction. Moving at your own pace. As we work our way through this minute, it can be a little more aggressive, trying to find those corners, but just take note of what it's feeling like. There should be zero pain. You can make the body work for those positions, but we don't want to create any pain. Finish off that breath, we'll move into some lumbar traction. So you have a few options here. The most accessible option is if you have a bench handy, just to prop yourself up on the bench and to wedge your hips into that corner and just gently relax that lower body. And if you have any history of low back issues, we want to be super cautious here. Just give enough pressure release to just decrease the pressure in that lumbar spine and pelvis without any pain. If there's any pain at all, just back off on how much traction and force we're using. But the idea is to get a subtle separation between your lower half and upper half and reverse some of the effects of gravity. One more breath here. Let's sigh out that breath. And step one, our left leg forward into a lizard pose in a lunge position. Letting that torso fall towards the floor. And we can drop all the way to the elbows if we have the mobility for it. Or you can extend your arms out to the side. Whatever version's comfortable is going to work for you today. Let that be your pose. And once you've got your pose, focusing back on your breathing, getting as passive as we can, turning off any muscle we don't need right now, and keeping your attention on your breath. And at about a 10-second count, we'll gently get active here. So the active portion is like you're stepping out of that lunge, using those glutes. And let's go ahead. Getting active through that lead glute. Slowly ramping up tension. And big tension for the last 5, 3, 2, 1. And let's gently reverse that. Squeezing through the hip flexor, squeezing through the abs. Slowly ramping up tension, actively pulling that chest closer to the floor. Big tension for the last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, fall back into that passive pose, relaxing through those hips. And if we're deeper in the pose, it's by relaxing, not by forcing. Mentally going back to your happy place. Now let's take one more long, slow, relaxing breath here. Let's sigh out that breath. And we'll step the other leg forward to focus on the right side. Stepping that leg through. Finding the right position for today. Again, the hips tend to rotate and be pretty different side to side for some people, so just be aware of that. And find the right position that feels right for this side today. Once you've got your position, that chest falling towards the floor, and then focus in on that glute releasing and relaxing. Take your attention back to your breathing, getting nice and passive mentally, turning off any muscle we don't need. In 10 seconds, we'll gently get active here again through that right glute. Just imagine pushing slightly into the floor with that lead heel. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, pressing through the floor, activating the glute. And let's slowly ramp up that tension as we go. Big tension for the last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out. And let's gently reverse that. Actively pulling that chest closer to the floor, starting gentle, slowly ramping up tension. Big tension here to finish up. Squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out. Fall back into that passive pose. Nice relaxed head space. Centering back to your breathing. Relaxing through that hip. Just letting it fall to wherever feels normal today. Let's take one more long, slow, relaxing breath here. We'll sigh out that breath. Let's work our way to our feet into a standing straddle. So let's go with a wide stance. Just as wide as this feels comfortable. And just hinge at the hip. So we're focusing on those groin muscles and adductors and those hamstrings. And then the upper body is going to be fairly active, holding yourself up. Lower body, let's just get as passive as we can. And again, your breath is going to be a great tool for that. Taking your attention on your breathing, doing your best to relax through the hamstring, whatever feels tight, and through that groin. Mentally staying as calm, relaxed, and just slowing things down. And we'll gently get active here in a few seconds. As we get active, imagine squeezing the feet closer together. And let's go ahead, squeezing actively through that groin, resisting that inner thigh stretch, slowly ramping up tension as we go. Let's go with big tension for the last 5, 3, 2, 1. And let's gently reverse that. Squeezing through the outer thigh, those outer glutes, slowly ramping up tension. Try to actively pull yourself deeper into that stretch. Finishing strong. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, and fall back into that passive pose. Relaxing to that inner thigh. Finding whatever position feels right for today. Mentally staying as relaxed as we can. Focusing on that breath. Finding calm. Letting everything slow down. Let's take one more long, slow breath here. Let's slowly sigh out that breath. We can work our way back to our feet. And that is a wrap for today. Thanks so much for coming out, guys. Hope those hips and necks are feeling nice. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.